Okay, ready? So we're going to come down to our backs. Start on our back. Start in semi-supine. Knees bent, soles of your feet on the floor. Just feel, first of all, notice your neck. And just make sure your chin isn't lifted so you're not overworking your neck. The back of your head is on the floor, your shoulders dropping back, your arms either supported down on the floor, or you might want to place your hands on your belly if you want to draw your attention in a little more. Your feet can be hip width apart. You might walk them wider, drop your knees into each other just to support your back. Let your eyes close. Draw your attention in. Just check in with yourself. Silently asking yourself, how am I today? How do I feel? What needs my attention and what doesn't? How is the quality of my breath? Soften around your face, between your eyebrows, your cheeks. Following the movement of your breath for a few breaths, noticing where you feel your breath. You might feel it under your collarbones, all around your heart, around your navel, your back. Letting your body feel supported by the floor, almost like the floor is rising up behind you and gently cradling you. Good. If your feet are wider than your hips, walk them into hip width apart. And invite your knees to come in toward your tummy. Take your hands around your knees or your shins or behind your thighs. And just gently hug in. You might take one hand to each kneecap, your big toes together, and slowly circle your knees together like they're glued together. So massaging over your low back, they circle. A few times in one direction, and then a few times in the opposite. Good. And then pause. And take both hands around your right shin and lengthen your left leg along your mat. Press through the sole of your left foot, wind relieving pose. So your shoulders still drop back toward the floor, just hugging your knee up. And breathe. Your breath is natural and relaxed. Just take your hands behind your right thigh and begin to lengthen your foot up toward the ceiling. Press through the sole of your foot, spread your toes. Your knee can be a little soft. So pressing through the soles of both feet. Maybe slowly circling your right foot, just releasing tension in your ankle. A couple of times in one direction and then a couple of times in the opposite. Good. And then pause. Hug your knee back in. And then gently release your right leg along your mat. Bring your arms down by your side. Take 2 breaths. Feel yourself supported by the floor. And then draw your left knee in. Hands around your left shin or behind your thigh. Just hug it down. Stretching into your thigh. If your thigh is coming up against your belly, gently massaging into your digestive system. Taking your hands behind your thigh, begin to lengthen your leg up. Press through the sole of your foot, spread your toes. Reaching through the soles of both feet, you might slowly circle your left foot. Just easing your ankle. Good. And then pause. Hug your knee back in. Invite your right knee to come in next to your left. Release both hands to the floor next to your hips and lengthen both legs up toward the ceiling. Tailbone reaching down toward the floor, just bringing your feet above your heart and your head. A couple of breaths. Feel your back supported on the floor, your shoulders expanding down. Good. And then rebend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor, hip width apart, arms down alongside your body. Engage your feet into the floor. Spread your toes, press your heels down, draw up through your arches. And begin to press into your feet so your hips slowly begin to rise. Your head stays grounded, your shoulders are grounded. Hips gently rise. And on your exhale, your hips slowly release down. So breathing in, your hips gently come up, engaging your legs, strengthening your hamstrings. And as you exhale, like you're placing one vertebrae down at a time, releasing down. Good, 2 more like that. So breathing in, engaging feet, legs, hips begin to rise. The weight of your body coming between your feet and your upper back and upper arms. Good, 1 more. Your last exhale brings you down. Pause. Let the soles of your feet come together. Your knees drop out to the sides. And take your hands either to your ribs or out from your shoulders in cactus arms. So to your ribs is more grounding and soft. Out from your shoulders is expanding across your chest and shoulders. Opening up into your groins, your inner thighs, your hips. If you're in cactus arms and your hands are floating above the floor, just take your fingers to your ribs. Let your hands ground. Good. Just 5 breaths. Feet very gently touching each other, outside edges of your feet supported by the floor. One more breath. And then take your hands to your outer knees and draw your knees toward each other. And draw your knees in toward you. And roll over to one side, curl up into a little ball on your side in a fetal pose, drawing your knees up to your chest, rounding your spine. And then making your way up. Come up, take a seat. Draw flesh away from your sitting bones. Sit on something if you need. Feeling the bottom of your body a bit heavy, crown of your head rising, shoulders dropping down, hands rest on your thighs. Good. As you inhale, your arms reach up. And as you exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, draw your elbows back, lift your gaze, lift your heart. And as you exhale, your arms draw together, chin to chest, round your upper back. So breathe in, reach up. And as you exhale, your hands sweep behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale, knuckles reach down, shoulders draw back, gaze rises. Take an exhale here. Good, breathe in, arms sweep out, up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, elbows draw back, heart lifts, gaze lifts. And as you exhale, arms come together, chin drops to chest. Breathe in, reach up. And as you exhale, your hands come behind you, fingers interlace, Yoga Mudra. Knuckles drop down, shoulders draw back, gaze rises. And as you exhale, begin to come forward, let your head drop. Release your hands, take your hands in front of you and rise up to all fours, coming into tabletop. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, tops of your feet are on the floor. Press the floor away with your hands and begin to move through your spine. So as you breathe in, lift your collarbones, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, round your spine, release your head. So your inhale brings you into a back bend. And your exhale draws in. Good, 2 more like that. Inhale as you open. And exhale as you round. 1 more round. Open up. And round. Good, breathe in, lift your collarbones, come to cow. And as you exhale, round your spine, release your sitting bones to your heels. And we're going to move between these two. So inhale, rise up, open up, lift your collarbones. And exhale, round your spine, sitting bones to heels. Good, again, breathe in, rise up, lift your collarbones. Exhale, round, sitting bones, drop back to your heels. Good, 1 more like that. Rising up. Rounding, sitting bones, drop to heels. Pause for a breath. On your next inhale, snake along the floor, come to Cobra. And as you exhale, sitting bones to heels. So breathing in, easing forward, low along the floor. Come into your back bend. And as you exhale, press the floor away, sitting bones to heels. Good. Again, snake along the floor. Come forward. Open up. And exhale, rock back. Good. 1 more. Come forward. Come into Cobra and pause. Feel the tops of your feet connect to the floor. Your thighs, pubic bone, elbows in tight, hands next to your chest, shoulders moving away from your ears. As you inhale, come up to high cobra. You don't have to lengthen your arms all the way. There can be a little bend in your elbows. And as you exhale, low cobra. Inhale, press the floor away, come up. And exhale down. Good, 2 more like that. Breathe in, open up, high cobra. And exhale, low cobra. This time, as you come up to high cobra, pause. And as you exhale, draw your right shoulder back. Take your gaze back over your shoulder, just stretching along the left side of your abdomen. So inhale through center. And exhale, draw your left shoulder back. Take your gaze back. Good. Come back through center. Release, tummy down. Just let your hands float off of the floor. Your gaze is on the floor just in front of you. Floating cobra. Breathe. Good. 1 more breath. Stack your hands elbows wide. Come to crocodile pose. Rest your forehead. Rest down. You might wiggle your hips from side to side. You might rub your forehead around on your hands, just massaging into that place right between your eyebrows. Good. And then lifting your gaze, bringing your hands by your chest, turning your toes under, reaching through your heels, lifting your knees, engaging through your body, press the floor away, plank. Reach through your heels, reach through the top of your head. Gaze comes just a little bit in front of your hands. And breathe, your hips are in line with your spine. Your knees can come down here if they need to. And then press the floor away, rise up. Downward facing dog. Lifting right with the tip of your tailbone. Just move through your legs, walk your dog, bend one knee, press the opposite heel to the floor. Just moving slowly. Good. And then pause. And let your right leg lightly float up behind you. Reach through the sole of your right foot. Keep your hips balanced. Balance the weight between your arms, and then bend your right knee and begin to gently peel your right hip back over your left, like you're reaching your right heel for your left buttock. Take your gaze under your right arm. Revolve. Good. Your leg lengthens out behind you. Your hips square off. And take your gaze toward your hands and step your right foot outside of your right hand, both hands inside of your right foot. Release your knee down and the top of your foot, open your chest. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, draw your hips back. Begin to lengthen your right leg. Let your head drop forward, half split. Good. So as you inhale, come forward, open up. And as you exhale, ease back. Good, one more like that. Breathing in, opening up. And exhale, lengthen back. Pause here for a breath. And then come forward again. And take both hands to your right thigh. Rise up. Your hips just gently draw forward. So opening up into your left hip flexor. Press into your thigh. Lift up out of your waist. And then bring your hands to your heart. Breathe, shoulders drop away from your ears. Good, one more breath. Hands come down. Take your right hand outside of your right foot. Just walk your right foot in a little bit closer. Turn your left toes under, reach through your heel, lift your knee. Step back, plank. Breathe. Leading with the tip of your tailbone, down dog. Feel grounding through your hands, through your feet. Your left leg floats up behind you. Just lightly floats up, press through the sole of your foot. And balance the weight between your arms so you're not dumping all your weight into one side. And then begin to bend your top knee and gently draw your hip back like you're reaching your left heel for your right buttock. Your gaze can come under your left arm. Twist. Good. And then lengthen your legs, square off your hips. Take your gaze to your hands and step your left foot outside of your left hand and release your right knee to the floor, top of your right foot to the floor. Open your chest. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, your hips gently draw back, press through the sole of your left foot. So inhale, open up. And exhale, ease back. Breathing in, come forward. And exhale, come back. Pause here for a breath. Let your head just gently drop forward. Good. And then come forward again. And take both hands up to your left thigh. Your hips drop forward, shoulders move down. There's an opening around your chest. Press your hands into your thigh to lift up a little bit out of your waist. So you feel the bottom of your body really grounding into the floor and the top half of your body lifting toward the sky. Your hands come to your heart, lifting your sternum toward your thumbs, and breathe. And smile. Good, hands come down. Left hand comes outside of left foot. Walk your foot in a little bit. Turn your right toes under, press through your heel, lift your knee, and step back, plank. Press the floor away, down dog. And then take a walk up to the front of your mat. Come into a nice, soft Uttanasana, forward fold. Grounding through your feet, spreading your toes, drawing up stability through your arches. Your spine is long, like there's a release down your back. Just pause. Good. Take your hands to your shins. Lengthen your spine. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, your hands ride down your shins, fold. Inhale, press into your feet, your arms sweep out, rise all the way up, upward salute. And exhale, swan dive forward. So inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach. Good, one more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend, and fold. Rise up, reach up. Interlace your fingers, press your palms up. Ground through your legs, lift through your arms. Take a breath in. And exhale, come over to the right. Good, inhale, rise up through center. And exhale to the left. Good, breathe in, rise up. Release your arms all the way down. Come into Tadasana, mountain pose. Close your eyes. Pause. Equal standing, samastiti. Equal standing, coming into equal breathing, samavriti. Your inhale, the same length as your exhale. So inhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just keep that up at your own count. Inhaling to 4 and exhaling to 4. Good, 2 more. Come back to your natural breath. Let your eyes blink open. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float forward. Soften your knees. Extend your spine. And step your right foot back into a lunge. Take your right heel to the floor. Reach your right arm forward like you're reaching for something out in front. And let your arm dial up and back. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Take your gaze over your left fingers. And just feel this alignment. Your head floating over your heart floating over your navel. Good. Turn both palms up. And release back fingers to back thigh, front arm lifts, reverse warrior. Anchoring into your feet, lifting through your heart. Good, come back to warrior two. Take your gaze forward, dial your hands down. Lift your back heel, lunge, and then step all the way forward. Forward fold. Press into your feet, rise, reach, hands to heart. Take a breath. Good, inhale, reach. Exhale, float forward. Extend. Hands come down, left foot steps back, lunge. Left heel releases to the floor. Left arm reaches forward. Dial your arm up and back, warrior two. Really plant the outside edge of your back foot. Reaching through your fingers, down through your feet, up through your crown. Both palms turn up. Release back fingers to back thigh, front arm reaches up. Lift through your heart, through your gaze, ground through your legs. Good. Back to warrior two. Gaze to the floor, dial your hands down, lift your back heel, step back, down dog. Release your knees to the floor. Take a seat onto your heels and shift your legs around the front. Come into Dandasana, staff pose. Draw flesh away from your sitting bones. Reach through your feet, spread your toes, tent your fingers just next to your hips. Lift up through the crown of your head. Shoulders drop away from your ears. Good. And then bend your right knee. Sole of your right foot comes to the floor. Take both hands around your right shin and lengthen. Left arm around right shin, right arm draws up and back. Fingers just graze the floor. Expand right across your collarbones. Hand comes down. Revolving your spine. Using your breath as you breathe in, ground through your sitting bones, rise through your crown. Good. As you exhale, come back around. Release your right leg. Bend your left knee, sole of your left foot to the floor. Hands around your shin. Lift first. Right arm around. Left arm sweeps up and back. Expand across your shoulders. Your gaze just gently turning back. Revolving your spine, nourishing your digestive system. Good. Gaze forward, come back around. Lengthen both legs. And with open fists, just give them a little tap. Just tapping around your thighs, your hips. Fingertips tap around your eyebrows, temples, cheekbones, jaw. Release your hands down, roll your shoulders out. Good. And then softly make your way down onto your backs. Come down, hug your knees in. Take one hand to each kneecap and circle your knees away from each other wide and then back together. Good, one more time around. Draw your knees back in, let your knees drop wide. Bring the soles of your feet up, come to happy baby pose. Your hands come to the outer edges of your feet or behind your thighs, drawing your knees down toward your armpits. Head is on the floor. Good. And then hug your knees back in. And either lift both legs up toward the ceiling or come into a half shoulder stand, catching the backs of your hips, your legs gently piked above your face. It's coming to an inversion, bringing your feet above your heart and your head. Good for your nervous system, for your circulatory system, your weight, your upper arms, upper back. Not coming up too high, being really aware of your neck. If weight moves into your neck, just back right off. Good. Let your knees bend. Release your arms down to slowly roll down and invite yourself into relaxation. Grabbing what you need, so make sure you're warm. So you might want to put on socks or a jumper or a blanket. You might use a pillow from your house under your knees. And then soften through your body. Feel a sense of dropping down through your back, feeling supported, and softening through the whole front of your body. Take a deep breath in. And a big releasing. And pause. So if you're at home, stay here for as long as you like. Take your time in stillness and in silence. When you're ready to come out, connect back to the movement of your breath. Noticing how you feel. Inviting a little bit of movement through your extremities, your hands, your feet. And just letting that movement expand in a way that feels really good. So it might be stretching or wiggling or hugging. Eventually bringing your feet to the floor and then drawing your knees in. Rolling to one side for a couple of breaths, Just drawing into yourself. And then as you feel ready, coming up. Close your eyes for a moment. Just feeling the peace and stillness of this moment. Connecting to compassion. Compassion for yourself and compassion to the world. Namaste. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for joining.
So should I give you a 5-minute flash?
Yeah, oh my God, they're so professional.